so much for joining today. We're really excited to tell you a little bit about how to get started with Grades of Green and how to build your Grades of Green team. My name is Emily G, and I am our Director of Global Programs here at Grades of Green.
Hi everyone, my name is Allie Bush-Jager. I'm the Director of Regional Programs. I'm actually based in Grades of Green's Los Angeles office, and I'm thrilled to be joining Emily today at the New York office headquarters. And we, as you know, have schools all across the globe. Thank you for tuning in and taking the time to join us today. Our hope with this webinar is that regardless of what project you're taking on, what activity you're doing in your school and community, there'll be a little bit of something for everyone.
So anytime along the way, if you have questions, comments, if you want to let us know how you're doing, feel free to comment directly into this Facebook Live, and at the end we'll be having a question and answer segment. If we don't get to all of the questions and answers during this webinar, we'll also follow up afterward as well. If you have any questions that you want to talk to an advisor about one-on-one, feel free to register at gradesofgreen.org, or you can send us an email at info@gradesofgreen.org to learn more. As we get started today, we wanted to say thank you to all of the great Grades of Green teams that this has all been compiled together for. Allie and I have been able to work with Grades of Green teams all across the country for the last 5 or 6 years. So we wanted to say thank you to everyone who had all of their best practices and tips and ideas incorporated into this section. After this webinar, the PDF of the webinar and a YouTube video will be available if you want to talk to your Grades of Green team about it or show a principal or administrator afterward as well. So a little bit about the order of today. We're going to go over the history of Grades of Green, about Grades of Green, and then really we're going to jump into why to start a Grades of Green team in the first place, what it is, and some best practices and tips for how you can get involved as well. At the end, we'll go over a second step of how to sustain your team year over year and make sure to keep it fun.
And as Emily said, we have Jordan, one of our incredible team members, who's monitoring the comments section. Please do post your questions, your comments, your ideas, your feedback for us, and Jordan is here to monitor all of that and respond to you. We also want to encourage you to hit the like button if you like something, throw us a heart if you love something. Any kind of reaction you want to share is so fun for us to see, so thanks for participating. A little bit of information about Grades of Green. I think we have the coolest jobs in the whole world. We're a nonprofit and we get to inspire and empower kids to care for our earth and take action. You guys are the ones who have the power to make a change and make this earth better for generations to come. And the work we're doing is so fun, and I hope you have fun doing it, but there's also something very serious we're trying to do. We're trying to build a better earth for everyone. So thank you for joining in on this mission, for being part of the Grades of Green movement. Grades of Green is global. We're so excited to now be in 17 different countries, 43 states, and we work with over 400,000 kids across the world. Any school who registers can get paired with an advisor. We have team members both in New York and in LA who are happy to help anytime. Our program is free to schools, so if you know of a school who would like to get involved, have them check out the website.
Awesome. So, what is a Grades of Green team and why is it so important to start one? Well, a Grades of Green team can look very different at your school depending on your school culture and your campus. But this is an example of Grades of Green team at El Segundo Middle School, which is in California. As you can see, it's a group of student leaders on campus who are all coming together because they're passionate about environmental issues. And the great thing that we love about starting that Grades of Green team is it then allows you this hub to be able to implement any Grades of Green activities and take action afterwards as well. As you can see, there are teachers and parents that can be involved in your Grades of Green team, and really at the core, it's creating a student group of student leaders who can then lead those activities.
And your Grades of Green team is your nucleus. It's the center, organizational headquarters of everything your school is doing to protect the environment. Hopefully the team will get to work with many other clubs on campus, different age groups, different classrooms, your whole school, maybe even your whole community for district-wide, city-wide changes. But this is the core group of people who are monitoring that change, rolling it out, and really championing that effort in your school community.
If you already have a Grades of Green team set up in your school, make sure to comment below and give a shout out to your Grades of Green team for all of the success it's had. And if you're just starting with us and starting to create that Grades of Green team, give a like so that we can see all of the Grades of Green teams that are going to start and are here to come.
And at this time, we know that we have a variety of schools who are joining us today, and we're so excited to see your reaction to these questions. Los Angeles schools, if you are in the Trash Free Lunch Challenge program, can you give us a thumbs up? And students, if you are in the Youth Corps Eco Leadership Program, meaning you're a student who is taking on one of the activities, championing that in your school with one of our advisors, can you give us a heart?
And if you are part of our water challenge, please give a heart as well. And we also want to bring up Emily Stewart, who you may know, who's been one of our awesome Grades of Green team advisors for the Water Challenge. So if you are a Water Challenge school, you may be talking to Emily. Hey guys, so excited to see you in our next video call. And if you want to be part of that Water Challenge going forward, we do have another Water Challenge coming up in January. Feel free to register at Grades of Green or email info@Grades of Green if you'd like to be part of the next cohort. Again, that Water Challenge is global, so any school across the globe can be part of it.
And friends, if you're tuning into this later on and you're like, oh, I missed the deadline, email us anyways. We always have cool programs going on that you can get involved with, so don't be discouraged.
And now, why is it really so important to start this Grades of Green team? Well, as Ali said, it's really that hub, that nucleus of your programs. It helps you take action, and really it also helps to develop year-over-year consistency. Our goal with the programs is that you spend so much time creating all of these great Grades of Green activities, and we want to make sure that year-over-year they are happening at your school.
The Grades of Green team is really your foundation. Any other project you take on later on, any activity you're passionate about, it's going to be successful because of the structure and the implementation of that team. So please take your time in setting this up. Be thoughtful about it. Create a team that matches your school culture that students want to be a part of. And whether that takes you 2 weeks, 2 months, an entire year or semester, invest that time up front. It'll pay off in the long run. The second why we're going to talk about with starting a team, it instills leadership values in students. These students who are part of the team are learning how to do public speaking, how to spread a message, how to recruit people to join a movement with them, and all of these skills they're going to carry with them through the rest of their lives. So you're empowering a lot of students to build their skill set.
I love that. And then the very last one, and I think probably the most important reason to start that Grades of Green team, is because we want to instill lifelong environmental values in our students and really the broader community as well. Creating that nucleus and that Grades of Green team really helps to make sure that students are the ones that are taking action, and what they're learning is intrinsic and becomes just second nature in everything that we're doing. That can happen on a student level, and it can happen on a community level. And then we've also seen it happen on the city and the state level too. So really taking that time, like Ali said, to develop what Grades of Green team structure works for you can really pay off in the long run as well. As we go into the other reasons, feel free to comment as to why you've already started a Grades of Green team, because there are so many other great reasons and benefits too.
We're going to now talk about how you can create your own successful team. And if you've had a team for years, give us a thumbs up. We're so glad you're here. Hopefully we'll give you some fresh new ideas. And if you're just starting a team, can you give us a heart so we know that you're here to get that structure up and running? And we're going to talk about some of our best practices now. Here's an example of what we call a successful team. You see a student who's excited, she's proud to be a part of her team, she works with others, they set a goal and they achieved that goal and they're celebrating. So this is what we're hoping for all of you, that you're having fun, you're making a difference, and you're reaching your goals.
Love it. So these are, Ali and I came up with these 3 S's to success, and you can remember them because there are 3 S's to success, and these are our 3 ways to make sure that your Grades of Green team is up and running and successful on campus. Our first S is support, and this is the very first step to start your Grades of Green team, and it's getting support from your principal or your administration on campus. This is really important because, first of all, it can help see who else is out there, who else on your community is passionate about the environment, and who else on campus may be a partner for you. Your principal or administrator can help kind of put those pieces together and connect like-minded groups. In addition, it can also really help to have administration buy-in as well. All of the activities that you can roll out are then sustainable year after year, and it really becomes part of that campus culture. As you're creating your team and as you have that principal approval, we're also here for you any part along the way. If you'd like to let us know to call into one of your principal meetings in case they'd like to hear more about it, we're always happy to do that. And we also have resources on our website with email templates and different resources that you can send to your principal too. So at any time, if you're looking for support to get your green team up and running, just let us know and we're there to help. And then also feel free to have your principal also register at gradesofgreen.org and associate themselves with your school. Every time you then take on a new Grades of Green activity, your school and your principal will get an email letting them know what you're doing and all of the good work.
If you are a supportive principal watching us right now, can we get a thumbs up from you? Our second S is structure. It is so important that your team has a consistent, organized structure that the students can rely on. We recommend as a best practice having weekly meetings, even if those are only 10 minutes long as a check-in. It keeps the Grades of Green team at the forefront minds of the students. It's really good for them to make sure that they know how they can get involved, how they can share ideas with each other. It's just a best practice that we highly recommend. Another idea with structure to consider is having a variety of students who are a part of the team. A lot of schools, I would say, start off by having just their upper grade leaders on the team, which is great. We definitely want those older students involved. They're going to be the ones leading the effort. But don't forget about your younger grades too. They can then follow in the footsteps of your older students, be a part of that movement together, so when your older students graduate, the younger students can take their place. Other ways to encourage a solid structure on campus, have a handbook or some kind of resource where students can add to it year over year. They can make sure that all of their progress is being tracked, they know what they've done, and if any student joins the team or leaves the team, there's a consistent way for them to know what's been done and how they can keep it going. You can, of course, track all of your progress on the Grades of Green website as well. Your school profile page, when you take on an activity, it'll track on your homepage, and you can eventually get Grades of Green certified, which is pretty cool. The last thing I want to say on structure is look at how your school already organizes different teams. How is the student council organized? How do they meet? Where do they meet? And try to mimic that kind of successful structure so that this is an easy transition for students who want to join the Grades of Green team.
I love that. Also, give a heart if you are already a Grades of Green certified school. We have, I believe, about 25 schools right now that are on Grades of Green's honor roll, which means that they're taking on more than 5 activities. So let's give a heart if you are a Grades of Green school, or are you excited to see what those Grades of Green schools are doing.
Yeah.
The last S is student involvement. And again, this one is so important because it helps make sure that all students on the team have some sort of involvement to make sure that they are getting those leadership skills, 21st century learning for critical thinking, communication, and really learning how to take a project from an idea to action steps. While we love working with all of the awesome parents and teachers on campus, we also want to make sure that there are students that can be involved in it. Give a shout out, and can we just give a big round of applause to all of the awesome parent and teacher volunteers. We know and we want to thank you for taking the time to put these teams in place, and the amount of impact that they have on schools and students is invaluable. So thank you for that one. Some ideas to make sure that all of our students on our team are included is first setting the number of students on the team. We suggest about 5 to 20 students to be on the Grades of Green team. Of course, it can be a little higher, a little lower, but that's where we found that there's really the most student involvement. If you have a lot more than that or a lot less, we'll get into some ideas in a little bit for how to really find that number. And then also, if you have a group that is in the 15 to 20 range, think about ways that you can divide your students into maybe working on a few different activities or into a few different captains who can then lead that, just to make sure that everyone has a role and everyone's getting those awesome leadership skills.
Yeah, we've seen some schools who have different committees. There's a marketing committee, a committee who does all the public speaking, a committee who monitors the composter or sorting station at lunch. Some schools do a president and vice president model with a secretary. So see different ways where you can create leadership positions that work for you.
Love that.
Here's an example, and this picture might not seem like much to a lot of people, but this is just amazing for us because it's those 3 S's in action. It shows that there is support for this Grades of Green team on campus. They have a bulletin board, a whiteboard where they can track all of the activities they're doing, all of the people involved. We really recommend having a hub for your Grades of Green team. They can leave their materials if you have lanyard badges, t-shirts, anything else the students might use materials-wise, all in one spot on campus. That's a great way to set up a structure. This is also a student-managed calendar. All of the students write in their names for what day they want to monitor which activity, which students are going to help with lunchtime sorting, which students are going to help with the No Idle Zone project, which students are going to make sure lights off are in the classrooms, all the different ways students can be engaged. So it's managed by students, shows the support of the campus, the structure, student involvement. This is just a shining example.
This example is actually built on a whiteboard at one of our schools. But really, we encourage you to use anything and everything around campus that can either be repurposed or recycled. So maybe if there's an area on campus where you already have a chalkboard, that's great. or even if you have the back of some shipping boxes, you could put that together to make almost like a cardboard display. So looking around on campus, seeing what you already have available can be a great way to start that hub, and also a great way to already start your reuse project.
And a fun project for the team too, the students involved.
As we move more into the second half of growing and sustaining your Grades of Green team, we wanted to point out that all of the resources that we'll be talking about today are available on our website. So as Ali mentioned, these lanyards, anything that you need is available by going to gradesofgreen.org, clicking on Take Action, and then the Grades of Green team activity. This is what it'll look like, and then every one of the graphics, lanyards, banners, flyers, anything that you would need is available by simply clicking on the different links within the implementation
Look for the green.
Look for the green. And then once you've taken on your activity, first of all, we will give you kudos and high fives through the phone because we're so excited. And we want you to click on that green taking on this activity button. That way you'll get a point on your school's profile page and you'll be one step closer to being Grades of Green certified. So make sure to click on that button if you're taking on the activity, and also registering on the website. Registering on the website will unlock all of this so you're able to use it, and you'll be able to download any of the resources. So if you're looking to register, simply go to the Grades of Green website, which is gradesofgreen.org/register.
Perfect. It is so hard for Emily and I to pick just a few green teams that we're impressed with and that we love. You guys all come up with the most innovative ideas and tips every day, but here's just a quick snapshot of some schools that we see have rockin' Grades of Green teams. All of these pictures you can see, number one, students are having fun. Number two, they're taking action. They're working together to help their school's composting program, recycling program, no idle zone program, getting certified on the Grades of Green website by taking on 5 or more activities. These students are all from different ages, different schools, different backgrounds, they have different interests, but they join together to join the Grades of Green team. The picture at the bottom is a great example too of a student Grades of Green team who involved their local government. They had city council members, district representatives help them with their program and ensure its success for years to come.
So now, once you've built your team, it's up, it's running, that second and third year of the program is about how do you really sustain that team and how do you make sure that it's fun and measurable and impactful. So now we're going to present our 5 tips for how to really take your team to the next level. So, of our 5 tips, the first one is spread the word and instill pride in your Grades of Green team. Again, on our website, there are all of the resources that you will need to spread the word and instill pride. Any of the Grades of Green lanyards, this is a great way that if your students are giving presentations classroom to classroom, they can wear these to instill pride, ownership of the activities, and really show themselves as the student leaders on campus. Other information can include resources like recruitment flyers, banners, even a fillable logo so that you can make a logo that works directly for your school. So it'll say, for example, Jefferson Elementary's Grades of Green team. It's all fillable and available on our website. The thing that we found that's really, really important about spreading the word and instilling pride in our schools is that, and in our Grades of Green teams, is that everything that you're doing can then have this ripple effect where you're spreading awareness and you're taking ownership for these great Grades of Green activities that can then happen on campus, in the community, and even again at that city and state level. So having that ownership instills the pride in students and also then in the school as well.
And keeps it fun, of course.
Yeah.
The second tip we have is consider having applications available for students to join the Grades of Green team. This will draw students to the program who are committed to the cause, they're excited, they're ready for the leadership skills, and they're committed to being a part of this for the entire school year. There are so many different ways you can structure student applications. It can be an essay contest, it can be a privilege, 1 student per classroom or grade level could be a part of the Grades of Green team, even an art contest. Some schools even do it where kids campaign to be the president of the Grades of Green team, which is exciting. The reason we love applications as well is it goes back to that pride. It shows that it's a privilege to be on the Grades of Green team, something students are excited about, it's something they're chosen for, and it makes them even more excited to keep the program up and running.
Yeah, I love that. Our third one is to set goals and celebrate. So setting goals for each activity is really, really important because it shows when we've met that measurable, attainable goal. Our suggestions to set those activity goals is to make sure that you're setting a timeline of when you want to hit that goal, and then make sure that there's a metric that you want to hit. So for example, for our walk, wheel, and ride activity, that's where we either carpool together or walk to school together to decrease emissions. Maybe in the first year that you're starting it, maybe you're looking for 25% of your students to be part of it. If you're in your second or third year, maybe it's more like 40 or 50%, but setting a percentage or an amount that you want to reach and then setting a goal for the timeline you want to reach it is super, super helpful because it lets us know then when to celebrate. So some ideas for how to celebrate and how to do this is that we really want to make sure that incentives for schools can be something that's free, so any school can be able to do it, and it's something, if possible, that can be more experience related instead of a prize that's given as well. So some examples that we've seen all-star schools do is it can be, if you hit your goal, maybe you get 5 extra minutes of recess at lunch.
Free dress day goes over really
I
well.
love that one. Even if it's a group of our classroom that won, maybe a lunch with the principal, that would be a great one. So anything on campus, again, this might be specific to your campus culture that could be fun. Maybe even music at lunch one day, or being able to eat outside in a cafeteria is great.
The fourth tip is to involve your entire community. Of course, your Grades of Green team has students from different age groups, a passionate parent, teacher, administrator leading the program, but once that team is comfortable, think outside the bubble. Maybe there's an office manager, a librarian, a custodian who wants to join the team too. And beyond the school, you might have a community member, someone from your district or local city government. We had a school who took on the energy audit activity. They ended up reaching out to their district energy manager who helped the students with the energy audit, and then he became an invaluable part of the team in helping the school with their future Grades of Green programs.
I love that one too, thinking not only what's in your community, but outside. And if you need help with finding any of those resources, feel free to ask your advisor as well, and we can help point you in some of those partnership directions. The fifth one is combining the why with the how of our activities. So yes, we want to turn over with habit changes, creating eco-friendly habits on campus, but what we found is if we can also say why we're doing those activity changes, it really helps to have a deeper level of understanding about the issues, and can also help those students feel empowered and have ownership of those, so that in case parents are asking, community members, and broader, there's reasons and a why behind why we're doing those activities, and it just leads to a different level of understanding and having awareness.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't go just yet. We have a few more fun things planned, but at this point, I want to explain all that you can do on the website, gradesofgreen.org. I hope this presentation inspired you to check out the website. Look at the Grades of Green team activity. Look at those green links Emily pointed out where you can download all of the resources we have, the flyers, the artwork. It's all there for you. You are also welcome to email Emily and I anytime. Our favorite thing is hearing from students and schools, so please don't be shy. You can also email our info account, info@gradesofgreen.org. At this time, if you already know your Grades of Green advisor, you're working with an advisor, can you give us a heart or a thumbs up?
Awesome. And feel free at any time to take pictures along the way and be able to inspire other students around the country and around the globe who are doing Grades of Green activities. Feel free to do @GradesOfGreen on any social media platform, or email those pictures to your advisor so we can spread all of the great work that you're doing to other Grades of Green schools as well.
You guys inspire each other all the time.
So now we wanted to open up for a little Q&A to see what questions are out there and how we can really help to build those Grades of Green teams. We're going to turn it over to Emily, who's going to read some of the questions.
Hey guys, so I have a question from Taryn J. What are some green team activities or presentations that can be used to sustain the team and keep the students engaged?
Ooh, I love that. So we try that all of our Grades of Green activities are built so that activities are hands-on and really fun. So it's almost like learning while you're doing it. At any time, if you're looking for Grades of Green activities that you can do with your team, simply go on our website. You can click on the Take Action button, and then there's 40 different activities of anything that you can do with your Grades of Green team. This is a tough one, but Allie, do you have a favorite activity that you want to recommend?
Oh goodness. I have to say I'm a little biased. Waste is my personal favorite category, though I'm starting to fall more in love with energy as well. So it's always hard to pick. But I would say talk to your students, see what they're passionate about, maybe even take an anonymous vote, and that'll help dictate the direction of your Grades of Green team for the year. There's just so many choices.
Yes. And if at any time you're looking for a little bit of direction on what activity may work best for your campus or your community culture, again, just email info@gradesofgreen and register your school, and we can help point you in a direction that may work for your school.
Absolutely.
So we have another question. What happens if you have trouble finding students for your Grades of Green team?
Oh, this is a great one. I would say if you're having trouble finding people to join your team, number one, think about how you're messaging the opportunity to be a part of the Grades of Green team. Maybe students aren't hearing about it appropriately if it's in a newsletter. Maybe it's better to do a morning announcement or have a poster at the front of the school. I would also say consider what incentives there are for students who join the team. What are they excited about? Do they enjoy lunchtime meetings? Do they want to meet after school? Is there a special privilege they can get by being on the team, such as front of the line lunch passes once a week, if they're the ones who are helping lead the effort? If being a part of the Grades of Green team is more of a privilege and an honor, I think more students are going to want to join. Any tips you have, Emily?
I was going to say too, feel free to look around your school for anyone who may already have an interest in the environment. Maybe there's a science club or a science teacher who can help point you in the right direction. Being able to spread the word to groups of students that might be like-minded or are already interested in this is super helpful. So starting with places like a science teacher, a science club, a student council can help get the word out there and at least see how other clubs and teams are also being formed on campus.
Absolutely.
One more question. What's the role of adults on a Grades of Green team?
Okay, the question was, what is the role of an adult on the team? And of course, this is customized to your school. It depends on your culture, absolutely. But I would say the number one role of the adult is to make sure the students are empowered and supporting them in their goals, providing a location for the students to meet, a safe space for them to go, a time for them to meet. And if they need any support with getting principal approval, someone from the community's involvement, that adult can really be a connector for the students and helping them reach their goals.
Yeah. And when you're giving that guidance as a principal and a teacher, also feel free to look at student leaders who on campus may be able to help with that too, helping divide any of that responsibility.
Yeah.
If there's a few students that want to be team captains or take over certain areas can be really helpful. But again, being that guiding force of just support and being there to answer any questions along the way is great. Last year we did take a poll of our Grades Green teams, and I think the advisor role for teachers and parents is roughly about 15 hours per semester. So of course it depends on what activities you're implementing and what you're doing individually as a team, but the rough amount is about 15 hours. And we so appreciate your time to volunteer and make sure that students get that leadership experience.
And to the adults out there who are leading a team, if you need any support, you're feeling a little overwhelmed, or you want someone else to join in the fun with you, again, email us. We're happy to help you with that.
Yeah, awesome.
And with that, we'd like to conclude by inviting you to join any of our upcoming webinars. These are all structured in a way that any activity you're taking on, they should be helpful and supportive for you. They'll be quick, short clips, just like the webinar you participated in today. So save the dates here. Our next webinar will be on January 25th. Our focus will be creating a movement, and we are so excited to see you then.
Awesome. Thank you guys, and we look forward to talking to you later.
Thanks.